Welcome everybody to another episode of Pages from Rock Bottom. I'm Matt. This is my beautiful wife Kim. Tonight we are joined by Kerry Wallace.
Chasing Numb. So, trigger warning, where it's going to be profanity tonight, guys. This episode contains raw and honest discussion of addiction, meth, heroin, crack pills, and alcohol, sexual exploitation, attempt, abuse, domestic and emotional, loss of custody, overdose, homelessness, and listener discretion is advised. Hi, Sabrina. This conversation is meant to bring awareness, hope, and trust, but may be difficult for some people to listen to. So just be gentle with yourself, guys.
Kerry's story is one of survival in the rawest form. From her first drink at 15 to being introduced to meth by someone she trusted, Kerry's path quickly spiraled into cycles of addiction, abuse, and loss. What started as a way to fit in turned into a way to escape trauma, escape pain, and escape reality. She battled heroin, meth, pills, and alcohol. She lost custody, lived in shelters, survived homelessness, and even came close to being trafficked by someone she thought was a friend. But even in the darkest moments, something in her refused to give up. After her partner's overdose in 2021, everything shifted. That moment became the beginning of her way out. Now, celebrating 5 years clean,
Woo-woo!
Kerry is rebuilding her life, restoring relationships, and proving that survival was only the first step.
Woo! That was a lot on the tongue. Okay, welcome, Carrie. All right, we want to thank you for being here. This is Matt's part. Before we get into the story, I'm going to read it. It's fine. Tell us who you are today.
Well, today, I have two amazing stepkids that I get to see every single day. And honestly, I never thought I would be here. Like, it took a lot to get to where I'm at today. And I do have my recovery to thank for that because my partner did not get to see her daughter until last year. And it was a lot of work, but we did it.
That can be difficult sometimes, you know. I have a daughter who I lost when she was 8, and then she's 23 now, and I mean, I've seen her, but like she doesn't want nothing to do with me. So, but that can be difficult. Kudos, that's awesome that you guys get to start rebuilding those relationships.
I do have an almost 18-year-old that lives with her grandma that I do not have a relationship with. And it's not that I haven't tried. I've tried everything in my power to get her to understand that I am clean and that I have tried, but she has it embedded in her head that I'm this evil person.
Same. And doesn't matter, but these are just things that we've caused, right? Our actions have put this into our lives, and and our kids not wanting nothing to do with us. That's the only one that I don't get to see or have anything to do with, and she made me a grandmother, and I don't ever get to see that baby. But hey, she has a life. She's doing good in life. She works. She has a nice car. She has her own home. You know what I mean? And I'm super proud of those things. So even if I didn't get to be a part of it, so she's grown into an amazing woman. I'm super proud of her.
What does being 5 years clean mean to you right now?
Well, it means to rebuild my relationships that I have let go in the past because I was too afraid to speak out or to even. I have 4 sisters and 1 brother, and only one of my siblings will speak to me. And I think it's because I am sober now, and she can actually see that. And I have nieces and nephews that I'll probably never get to meet, but I did get to meet her kids. And that was one of the best feelings in the world.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. All right, you said your addiction started really young. Can you take us back to 15? What was going on in your life at that
So,
time?
my mom and my mom worked a lot, went to school. My stepdad was never around. He was always, either at a poker game, the bar, or something. And I just got to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. And the year that I turned 15, I met this guy. His name is Tim, and he's my daughter's father. And I went there thinking that he was home one day. And I knocked on the door, and his mom answered, and she had a bunch of people over. And she invited me in, and she took me to her bedroom. And then in her bedroom, there was this part of a closet that had like a little table set up there. And she sat down, and she was messing with this white substance that I had no idea what it was. And I'm like, well, what is that? And she was like, you want to try it? I'm like, what is it? And she was like, well, you'll like it. Just try it. So thinking, she wanted me, I wanted her to like me because I was with her son. I did what she
Yeah.
asked me to do. And it turns out that it was meth.
Oh, right off the rip, straight to meth at 15 years old. Wow.
Hmm.
Whew. I didn't try meth for the first time until I was in my 20s.
Yeah, I was just doing oxy.
Yeah. Whew. So you started doing meth at 15. Was your boyfriend doing it too with his mom?
He did cocaine, but I don't ever think I ever seen him do meth. And I knew he drank a lot.
Mm. What did alcohol? When did you start alcohol and weed? When did that come into your life?
I was probably in about ninth grade, and I was hanging out with one of my friends, and her mom knew my mom, so we became friends. And my mom tried to warn me that this family wasn't someone that I wanted to hang out with because they did drink a lot, and my biological dad was an alcoholic. And I went to a party with them, and they were all smoking weed and drinking alcohol. And my friend's mom was like, "Here you go," and handed me a Smirnoff. I think I was maybe 13 or 14 at the time.
So, like at this point in your life, like, are you experimenting to escape anything emotionally, or is it just pure experimental?
Um, my biological dad died when I was 12. And it was very hard because I was separated from my brother and my sister that I shared with him, and I just wanted to feel absolutely nothing and not worry about, is my mom going to be home from work at like 1, 2, 3 in the morning, or is my stepdad going to come home drunk again? And
You'd mentioned, back when your boyfriend's mom, was she someone you trusted at that time?
yes, I trusted her very much, um, because I wanted, like I said, I wanted her to like me, so I just wanted to do whatever, she wanted me to do, and she held that over my head for years.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how that impacted you. Did your guys' relationship get stronger? Did it like put a strain on your guys' relationship? Like, or did you guys just continue to use together?
Um, I did a lot of things with their family. We went to movies, and we went to skating rinks, and we went to the mall, and they took me everywhere that they went on the weekend. I was with them, and I looked up to her like she was a mother figure to me.
What was your mom and your relationship like?
Me and my mom fought a lot. We did not get along very well. Yeah, I knew she loved me, and I knew what she was doing was for me and my siblings. But in the long run, if she really did, she said she loved me. But when I told her that my stepdad had been hitting me, she didn't do anything. She just ignored it.
So he was hitting on you, and was you already doing stuff by then? By the time your stepdad was hitting you?
No, I was probably in about sixth or seventh grade, and I had a group of friends come over spend the night with me, and there was a guy standing in my backyard, and I could not get a hold of my stepdad. He would not answer his phone. He wouldn't answer his page. So I had my friend call 911 because her grandma worked for the dispatch. And he came home and found out that I had called 911, and he grabbed me by the throat and slammed me into a chair, and I fell backwards and hit my head off the floor in my living room.
So who was the guy? Just out of curiosity.
My stepdad, my stepdad's name is Carl.
Oh no, I'm talking about the guy that was in your backyard. You said you didn't know.
Oh,
Did
I
you
have
ever
no
find out
idea.
who it was?
I have no. It was really creepy because my backyard had the water tower in it, and from my bedroom window, you can clearly see someone standing there. And I was called a liar, that I made it up just to get him to come home. I'm like, why would I lie about something like that? I have two witnesses.
Yeah. So at 17, you were injured, right? And prescribed pain meds instead of surgery. How did that shape your relationship with substances?
When I was 17, I was with this other guy, and he had taken my cell phone, and I was chasing after him, and I tripped over a tree branch, and somebody had to run to my house to get my stepdad, and my mom, and they gave me pain meds at the hospital because my mom said I didn't need surgery, that I would be fine, and I just kept taking them and taking them and taking them until taking them wasn't enough anymore.
When do you think that you realized that it was more than just taking them for pain, that you actually felt like you needed them?
Probably when I was on the school bus and I hadn't taken them in probably about 2 days, and this kid got on the bus and swung my leg around, and I barely even went. I was so numb at that point.
Yeah. When did you actually first get sick from it? Like, I remember mine.
Yeah, I thought I had the flu.
Yeah. It felt nasty.
Probably when I was 18, and I had just found out that I was pregnant for my daughter, and I ended up in the emergency room because I was so sick. They said I had the stomach flu, stomach virus, and food poisoning, and I had stopped taking the pain medicine because I thought something was wrong, but I wasn't sure.
So you became a mom at 18. You were in an abusive relationship, correct?
I'm sorry, what was that? My stepdaughter was talking to me.
It's okay. You said you became a mom at 18 and you were in an abusive relationship. What was that like mentally and emotionally for you, being pregnant and being in an abusive relationship?
When I first found out that I was pregnant for my daughter, it wasn't as bad as it had been. But once my daughter was born, it became even more. The violence didn't stop when I was pregnant, but it wasn't as bad. And I was told that I had to get married because I was living under his mom's roof, and he said, "You're pregnant, you have to get married." And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to get married. I didn't even want to keep my daughter. She was going to be put up for adoption. Because I knew that if I did not Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
And I knew that if I didn't do something, that he was just going to be another reason for him to hit me.
Mm. So was you using still at this time at 18 and pregnant? Did you stop
Off and
during
on.
your pregnancy?
Off and on. I stopped for the most part, and then when I had her, I was put on pain meds again because I ended up had to have surgery right after I had her, so they put me on more pain meds.
Feeding your addiction.
Yeah.
Keep you coming back. Yeah.
When you say you wanted to feel nothing, I mean, obviously there's a lot going on. What were you trying to shut off?
Because of the abuse was so bad. Like, I can still remember some of the things that he had said to me, and the things that he did to me was even worse. Like, I just didn't want to feel anything because if I didn't feel anything, I couldn't feel what he was doing to me.
I guess that's a good way to shut it off. I was the same way, girl. All right, so let's talk about how long did you and him stay together?
We were together on and off. I would say we got together when I was 15. I found out that I was pregnant when I was 18. We split up for about a year before we got back together when I turned 18. So I was in my early to late 20s when we actually did like completely split up.
Right.
Was the relationship abusive the whole time, or?
Yes, the abuse started when I was 15. He was standing, we had gotten into an argument and we were standing in front of my mom and my stepdad's best friend's house, and he started to choke me in front of their house. And I had bruises all on my neck, and I hid it with makeup, but I didn't tell anybody. And my mom and dad's friend told my mom when she got off work, called my stepdad, and was like, "Look, this is what I've seen. You need to do something."
Did they approach you about the abuse?
Yeah, they told me that I had to stay away from him, and he was on probation at the time. So, and the probation officer called my mom and was like begging her not to press charges on him so that he could graduate high school.
Great
Yeah.
reason. Maybe he shouldn't be putting his hands on the female and he could graduate high school. Maybe he should obey a law. How about that? I'm on to talk. I didn't obey the law none. You know what I mean? At all. So, but yeah, that's abuse. Takes me back. So your first use of heroin, you guys split up. When did you first use heroin? Can you take us back to when you first started using?
We had split up because he was keeping me hostage in my apartment, and he took my cell phone. I had a laptop that I had gotten from my stepdad for my birthday, and he took it. And my sister got worried and called 911 and sent the cops to my house, and he was arrested. And then about a week later, I was sitting on the couch, and my neighbor comes in and said, "Hey, the boys want you down here. They got something for you." So I go down there, and it was my neighbor, her two sons, her two daughter-in-laws, and her daughter-in-law took me upstairs, and they blocked the door, and they said, "Here, you want to feel nothing? I got nothing for you." And that was about 19.
Heroin, and back then it was probably the real stuff. Probably wasn't fentanyl yet at the time.
Yeah, and they were the first ones to ever show me what it was like to shoot up.
And you had your daughter at this time, right?
My daughter was at her grandma's, but yeah, I did have custody of her this time.
So what all was you using at 19? So far, you've done weed, you've been drinking meth, cocaine, or was that your boyfriend that was
Your
doing?
boyfriend.
That was
And
my
now,
ex.
and now you're into heroin. So was you just doing meth and pills and all that at the time you started heroin?
I wasn't doing meth so much, but I was doing pills, and then heroin was introduced to me.
Yeah, it's a lot. It was a lot cheaper. I think that's why a lot of people went to it because it was cheaper than buying pills.
Well, I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
What they say.
My buddy says it's an oxy times 10. I
Yeah.
said, okay, run that then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through the or you already did, I'm sorry. But there was a lot in that moment, pressure, vulnerability, trust. What do you remember most about the first time you did heroin?
Feeling like there was nothing around me, and I was on a cloud, and I was floating.
Yeah.
So what was your support system like at this time when when you first start doing heroin? Is your relationship better with your mom and your stepdad? Do you have family, friends? What's your support system like?
I really didn't have a support system back then. My sisters, they really tried, but they didn't want me around because I was an addict, and they all had kids and didn't want me around their kids. So I went around on holidays, and I tried my best to not do anything on holidays so that way I could see my mom. Um,
Yeah.
but that was the only time that I did get to see my mom was because when I was with my ex, he would not let me leave would not let me leave, wasn't allowed to go nowhere, wasn't allowed to have friends, nothing.
So I can imagine, like, with the trauma, your childhood, of course, it probably brought abandonment issues, self worth issues. Like, these are all motivating factors that lead us to make the decisions we do. So when someone says they can make you feel nothing, like, that's all it takes. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Great motivator. You know what I mean? Feel nothing. I can help you. You know, that's what they say. I've been there too.
It just they
So in
kept
that,
telling me that they wanted me to stop. They just wanted me to stop crying because I was crying all the time.
Usually it happens when you feel lost and alone with nowhere to turn, right? And you don't have connections with anybody, you don't have friends. You've done been isolated from everybody in the rest of the world. That's what happens in an abusive relationship. I've been in many of them. Um, but they don't want you to have that comfortableness
yeah,
or that connection with anybody because they want you to be able to rely on them so that way they can build you up just to tear your ass right back down.
well, yeah. If you have other people besides them, they lose control, right?
Yeah. Usually what happens.
So in that moment, did it feel like it was a choice, or was it something you were just pulled into?
I haven't really thought about it, but now that I do think about it, I feel like maybe I was pulled into it a little bit, but they really didn't have to pull too hard. I was already as down can come.
Yeah.
Mm. Man, I that just takes me back just thinking about it. Like I feel every bit of that. You know what I mean? Because I did the same shit. It was never like nobody ever really had to peer pressure me. And somebody's like, "Yeah, I got this," and I'm like, "Well, hell yeah, let me try it."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Um, anything to have that escape. At first I thought it was just for fun, but hell, it wasn't for fun. I was just doing it to escape everything that I was feeling because I didn't know how to deal with it emotionally anyway. Nobody taught me how to deal with emotions growing up. You know
For
what I mean?
sure. We didn't talk
You,
about emotions.
I don't know. You forget that shit and you move on. That's what they try to teach you when you're growing up anyway. All right, let's talk about cycles of getting clean and relapsing. How long did your let's I want to ask this first though. But how long did you use heroin before you hit before you hit rock bottom, realistically?
Um, I I stopped using heroin after my daughter got taken from me, and I ended up with another guy, and we started doing meth again. And I moved to Lancaster to be with my aunt that was my best friend, and she supported me in everything. Even though she was an addict too, and so was my cousin, I moved in with her. Me and my new husband had moved in with her. And I remember going for a walk at the apartment complex that we lived in, and I knew one of the neighbors, kind of messed around with stuff. And I went for a walk, and he was like, "Hey, you come in." And I went up there, and I don't remember anything from that day because nobody could find me because I I don't know if you're ever familiar with Lancaster or not.
Not I mean, I've been to Lancaster, but I'm not like
From freezer once.
I've never been up there and hung out. So no,
Yeah.
not really.
So we lived at Cedar Gate Apartments, and there was a lot of apartments there. My apartment was over on the other side by the offices, and I was taking a walk on the other side, going towards a whole other street. And my phone was ringing off the hook because they couldn't get a hold of me, and they were worried. And my new husband came looking for me, and he found me at the neighbor's apartment. And ultimately, it was his decision, but I said, "You want to try this?" And I ended up getting my, straightforward walk a straight line, mommy's boy to do drugs for the very first time.
Ooh, what was that like? Like, how did like did what was your reasoning for getting him to do it?
Well, he had asked me before what it was like and if he would like it and if he would like the feeling. And I'm like, that's just something that you would have to figure out on your own.
Yep.
And I, wasn't, thinking.
Curiosity.
I just said, "Hey, do you want it?" And it was his decision to say yes, but I was ultimately the first person to give it to him.
All right, so you've lost your daughter. Where's your daughter at this point?
My ex-husband got custody of her, and he lived with his mom, and I would get to see her occasionally, but then it got better because after we did split up and I ended up with my current partner that I'm with now, her sister was dating my daughter's father. So we were over there every single day because I would be visiting my daughter, she would be seeing her sister.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, I guess that worked out, right? Worked out. Um, you had the periods where you got clean. What would usually bring you back to using?
I did get clean for a little while and then my mom passed away.
Mm.
And the day that my mom passed away, me and my daughter were supposed to go to Lancaster or like New X because we were living in Lancaster. And at this point, me and my second ex-husband had split up. We got divorced, and my first ex-husband, my daughter's father, had moved in with me to Lancaster, and my mom passed away, and I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle the pain. I couldn't handle. I just could not handle it at all. And I got a hold of my cousin, and I said, "Come get me high, cuz my mom just died."
Yeah, death will do that to you. Um, yeah, I never could. It took me a really long time. Let me just say that to figure out how to process stages of grief. Right. I don't think I've still fully processed grieving any loss that I've lost, but
I don't think it's ever something you complete because you can always go back and forth in the stages.
yes. So it's not um as easy as people some people might say it is. It's really not. Like, you know what I mean? Grief can make you do irrational things.
Especially when we have absolutely no healthy ways to cope with anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know what healthy coping skills was.
I didn't even know what coping was.
No.
Yeah.
No. I did, but in the wrong way. I had one unhealthy coping skill and it was using drugs. So it was the only coping skill that I knew. I didn't, ever want to talk about anything because it ain't like anybody ever cared anyway, right? But I think grief and losing somebody can impact people differently.
So, in your sense of sobriety, was there any kind of treatment? Was there any kind of program you worked, or was it just dry?
I definitely don't think I would have been able to do it completely on my own. So okay, so me and my daughter's father have gone back and forth since high school. And I was living in New Lex with him, with my daughter, and I was with my current partner then. Well, my current partner, we weren't together then, but she was living with us. And we got our own place together after me and my daughter's father split up for the last time. And Tone Services got involved, and they told my partner now that I could either be put on a case plan and go to rehab, or she could leave me. So I went to rehab. I went to Stanton Villa. Stanton Villa I didn't last. I went to World Women's a few years later. I lasted maybe 3 weeks.
Mm.
Left that one. And
Yeah.
then 2019 we moved to 2020 we moved to Logan, and we started using really heavy then. And I ended up going to a rehab called I don't remember the name of the rehab because it was very small and it was just starting. And I got kicked out under a misunderstanding and ended up a week later at oh my gosh, what's it called? It's in Athens.
I, if you would say
By the
Portsmouth or
hospital.
here, I would probably know.
The Athens family will sure
Tanera!
suggest
Oh my god.
Ashley, Thomas, where you at? We need to know the name of this treatment center in Athens.
It was the best one that I have been to. And I actually graduated a 30-day program from there. It's right by the hospital in Athens.
Real Women's.
No.
Nope, that's not it, Misty.
I
That's not
nope.
it.
Nope. This was a men and women's facility.
So the one you were in was, did you guys hear that? It was a men and women's facility. Come on, help her out.
So, the one in Athens, what was
Babe.
different about it?
Remember the rehab I went to in Athens? The what? It was called the Carlson Center.
Carlton Center, guys. Carlton Center.
I've heard that name.
Misty said it laughing out loud. I'd give up. All right. So, what did you ask?
So, what was different about the Carlton Center?
I think it's because I didn't know anybody whatsoever. I didn't know anybody in Athens. I didn't know anybody there. It was it's almost like being in jail, but not being in jail. It was a lockdown facility.
Lockdown. Yeah. Kind of like store.
Yeah, it was pretty rough because there weren't very many people there. Hardly anybody knew about it because it was like almost brand new. It only been open a year at this point.
Yeah. And it was a 30-day program.
They do 30, 60, and 90. And if you need longer, they will get you longer, and they also help you get into like sober living.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the Carlton Center.
So what happened after in 30 days? You get out and you do
I was
good, or
supposed to go. Yeah. I've been clean ever since. I was supposed to go to a
She's like, help me. I
um.
thought she was going to say I need it.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought. What was the question?
It's okay.
shit, I don't know, I done lost it too.
He lost it too. All right, I'm going to rewind it just a little bit because I want to ask you this question. You mentioned feeling happy-ish at some point. What at what point what was missing? What was missing that you just felt happy-ish and not happy?
Love. I wanted to feel loved, and I did
Mm,
not feel actually loved, and like I was mattered until I met my current partner, and she has helped me realize in so many ways.
mm, I feel that. I feel that. I do. I feel that. I feel that in my soul. Um, when you so when you lost custody of your daughter, how did that impact you mentally, emotionally? How did that affect you?
I really don't think it has completely, like, it has hit that I don't have her. She'll be 18, but it hasn't, like, I'm not giving up hope that one day she will come back. Like, she will be like, Mom, I want to hear your story. I want to know your side.
I have that same hope. Don't lose it, girl. Don't lose it. Um, so losing your daughter, did that push you deeper into your addiction or wake something up inside of you?
It pushed me further.
Me too. Me too. Like I blame myself. And like, I'd always tell myself like I'm going to get better and I'm going to do the right thing, you know what I mean? I'm going to try to get a relationship with her until I just didn't try. Cuz I wasn't allowed to try, you know what I mean?
I was gonna try until I ran out.
Ran out of tries.
No, ran out of dope.
Oh, huh.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I would always quit until I didn't have it.
Yeah. There you
And then we
go.
got to restart this fucking vicious cycle.
Every day. Every day. Um, you want to next one?
When you met your current partner, she didn't know about your past. What was going through your mind about keeping that hidden?
It was definitely stressful trying to keep that hidden.
Yeah. Why did you try to keep it from her?
Why?
Yes.
Um, honestly, to get my drink. Jeez. Honestly, she was in recovery at the time, and I wasn't.
Mm. Makes sense. That makes sense. Um, what happened the moment addiction re-entered your relationship?
We ended up losing custody of her son because I brought drugs into the home and she wasn't aware.
Mm. So how did that impact your guys' relationship?
It's been rough. It's been rough, but she's tried to she's tried to forgive me, but I don't know if she actually fully has or not.
That's a forgiveness can be a tricky thing sometimes. Um, you you could think you forgive somebody and then, you take that shit back. And over and over and over again, it can be a vicious cycle itself,
For sure.
realistically. Um,
Process.
it's definitely a process. Proud of you for being able to stay clean. Samantha Reed said that. Um,
She was. I went to school with her. She was my best. She was my best friend for many years. You're my baby.
aw. All right. So what happened? How did addiction change your relationship dynamic? Say it.
Dynamic.
Dynamic. God, I can't even talk.
What was your question?
So how did addiction change your relationship dynamic?
Hello.
It definitely has. We fought a lot when we were using. It was
Yeah.
it was definitely not healthy for either one of us, and we try every day to overcome that because we know that we're better than how we used to act when we were using, and we try
Yeah.
to treat each other a little bit better.
Ooh, you described yourselves as functioning addicts. What did that look like day to day?
Well, when we lived in Logan, we had a roof over our head. Our bills were paid. We had food in the
Right?
fridge, even though we didn't eat it.
Mm.
And if someone needed a place to go because we had one, they were welcome in.
Yeah. So do you think that that label made it easier to justify to continue using?
It definitely didn't make it any easier.
Yeah. I told myself lies all the time.
Fuck yeah. Well, I need to. You know what I mean?
And then I could talk myself into anything, with just a little lie, I could make myself believe it in a second. You know what I mean? And even when I knew like the truth was right there, it's just smacking me in the face repeatedly.
So you went from having a place to live to shelters to a tent. What was what was that transition like?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
You went from having a place
It's
to
echo.
live and the shelters to living in a tent. What was that transition like?
It was definitely not for the weak, I can tell you that. I had never been homeless before. I had never, even attempted to live outside. Like, I was pretty sheltered. Like, I didn't go camping. I didn't have to, like, I never knew what it was like to have to live outside. And that definitely made me a different person experiencing that.
Homelessness sucks.
For
And then being up for days and days on end, and then you just fall asleep anywhere. That's a scary thing. I think about it now and thinking back, like, man, I could fall asleep up against the wall. Like, I didn't care where I was. If I sat on somebody's porch, I could fall asleep. You know what I mean? Like, homelessness is a scary thing. Um, you mentioned almost being trafficked. What happened in that moment?
So we were living in Columbus, and we were at the shelter, and we had a friend that lived in Columbus, and we he kept asking if we wanted to come hang out with him, and he kept trying to get us to leave the shelter. And the next morning, we're like, okay, we'll come, tomorrow to hang out with you. So we go to where he's at, and he ends up leaving us with these two men that we did not know at all. And the one guy took my phone and erased everything, all my emails, my text messages, my phone calls, it was gone. And he asked me to walk with him to the store, so I went with him to the store, and I knew something was wrong when he kept calling me his wife.
Mm. Yeah.
And my current partner was back at the apartment with the other guy, and she wouldn't let him have her phone, like, at all. And she was able to get a hold of um she was able to get a hold of one of her friends that lived up in Canal Winchester, and she was on the phone on another phone talking to a bunch of people, and my current partner was like, "Look, you can either let us walk out of here with no problem, or you're gonna have about 20 to 30 guys walking up in here with baseball bats."
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, "Huh?" And they're like, "Huh? What do you mean?" And she was like, "You know exactly what I mean. You let us walk out of here, or you're gonna have problems."
Yeah. She said, I also had to call the cops to help her go get help because she was mentally unstable and seeing things in her mind that wasn't there.
You'll have that.
Yep. Meth will do that to you for sure. I never experienced it.
Just
Ever.
one time. It was pure sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But some people it does. Some people it does
for
affect.
sure.
And yeah, it really does. So you guys end up getting away, obviously, right? Like they let you guys go?
Yeah, they let us walk out of there.
They didn't want them ball bats, girl. You know what I mean? Most
With
people
that smoke. But no, like emotionally though, what was that moment? What did it do for you?
I have a really hard time trusting people now, so I'm very cautious. Um, this this person that did this to us, we thought that he was one of our, he was a really good friend of ours, and we never thought in a million years that he would be able to, you know, try to sell us to people that we didn't even know.
Yeah.
And one of the one of the biggest things that I never thought that I would see happen is this person apologized to us.
You know, the crazy things that we'll do when we're on drugs though, people do it all people do strange things all the time. Normally things that they wouldn't normally do when they're sober. So, I get to think of a lot of things I did. You know what I mean? Um, I don't think I ever tried to human traffic somebody though.
Mm.
It never got that far or bad for me but you never know. You don't really know people and how they can react on certain drugs. That is, I guess I said it right.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. What does survival really look like when you're living like that? Like what does what does it look like for you? What did it look like for you?
I was terrified that I wasn't going to get out of there. Like, I was terrified that something was going to happen.
Yeah, for sure. I would have been too. You know what I mean? I'd have been like, fuck you, I'm deucing out. You know what I mean? But may not have been your situation. Um,
Was there a moment where you thought, this is it for me? Like, did you ever think you would be able to get clean or live in a different way?
No, I never thought in a million years that I would be able to get clean and be where I'm at today. I thought that's how life was supposed to be.
Yeah. So, in a mix of all this, I have to ask this question. In a mix of, 15, starting off, having your daughter, losing your daughter, doing heroin, doing meth, did you get in any legal trouble?
No,
Damn, I wish I could say that. Dang, girl. Kudos to you. No felonies. No felonies. Uh,
I didn't get in trouble until after my addiction.
oh, okay. Well, do you mind to share?
Um, my sister-in-law likes to tell the cops that people hit her, and she got me in trouble saying that I hit her, and I was put on probation for a year.
Damn.
You could have said, she said, I allegedly. Allegedly.
Right.
Is allegedly, guys. She allegedly.
Listen, she was being horrible. Everybody in the house was clean and passing drug tests. We asked her to please take a drug test because we had two babies living in the house. She refused, so we kicked her out, and she called me a stupid cunt. And I was this close
Woo!
to smacking her in the mouth.
I probably would have. Allegedly. Yeah. Allegedly, probably would have. That's all I'm going to say.
Don't get me wrong, I really wish I would have hit her, but I didn't.
I mean, shit, if I knew she called the cops, you might as well make it count,
Right?
Oh, shit. Allegedly. I love that word.
Allegedly?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
All right, so turning point was in 2021, overdose. Your partner overdosed in 2021. What did that moment do to you?
So I don't even I was in a daze, and I don't know exactly how long I had been sitting there, but I knew she had gone to get in the shower because she was supposed to go to the store with one of her friends, and at the time we were both, using needles, and she took hers into the bathroom, and somebody switched it out for fentanyl.
Mm.
And I remember the other two people that were sitting there was like, and the other two people that were sitting there was like, hey, is Morgan still in the shower? And I'm like, wait a minute, she hasn't come out of the shower yet? So I got up to go to the bathroom, and I couldn't get the bathroom door open. So I had to have the guy that was there break the door down to get into the bathroom. And as I'm on the phone with 911, they're running down the steps, and the girl that was there was supposed to be my best friend. And I was begging her not to leave me there by myself, and they left me.
Oh, some friends, you speak of like ambulance and cops, they all scatter.
That's that life, though, right?
Yeah, exactly what it is. Because usually people got warrants and they got drugs on them, and they don't want to be busted with anything. So I'm sorry, that sucks.
You said it woke you up, but not completely. What do you mean by that?
I didn't use needles after that day, but I was still getting high. It didn't click that I really needed to change until one day I'm sitting there and I was trying to have a conversation with my counselor, and she was like, if you're not going to get clean for, your kids, do it for yourself. Do it for a better life. Yeah. And I knew, I just knew that I didn't want to live that way anymore, because finding her in the shower like that, it was one of the hardest things that I have ever had to go through. Because right then I
Jesus.
thought I lost my best friend, my partner. Like she was.
Yeah, that would be difficult. So you tried rehab, you got kicked out. How did all that affect your mindset?
I was really depressed.
Mm. You spent days alone crying in a hotel. What was going through your head?
Um, so nobody knew that I was there except my partner, the girl that dropped me off from the rehab, and two other people. And I got in the shower and I heard a knock at the door. And I didn't answer it because nobody knew that I was there except like maybe a few people. And when I got out of the shower, there was a note on the door with a baggie, enough heroin to kill me, and a needle. And the note said, "Here, girl, go. Here, have some fun." So I immediately called one of the people that I knew that I was in town, and I said, "I can't do this by myself." And they said, "Come over for dinner, and then go back to the hotel, go to sleep, wake up the next day, and you'll be, I was going with one of my friends, Miss Ann. She was a Jehovah's Witness. I was going to stay with her until I got into a new rehab. So I called her and I'm like, "Can you come and get me a day early? I don't care. Get me out of here."
Yeah.
So what made you keep trying instead of just giving up?
I knew it wasn't the life that I wanted to live forever.
It's comfortable until it's not comfortable, isn't it?
Mm.
People always like to say I was comfortable there. No, I wasn't. You know what I mean? Comfortable until it's not. When you're homeless, you're sick, you're stealing to survive, you're sleeping on people's couches, you done lost your children. You know what I mean? Your family doesn't want to talk to you. You've given up everything, even yourself. And
Yeah, I used to always say the dumbass phrase, "I thrived in chaos."
yeah,
Motherfucker, you didn't do nothing. You know what I
no,
mean?
he ain't thriving shit.
I just used it as fucking justification to keep doing what I was doing.
Yeah, excuse after excuse after excuse. We talk ourselves into the craziest things, and we can make ourselves believe anything when we're in active addiction. It's freaking mind blowing. Mind blowing. All right, so let's talk about life today, because we already talked about the program that in Athens that you did 30 days at.
The
That
Carlson Center.
he said it right. What really stuck though with that treatment? Like, what really stuck for you that made you stay sober?
I think it was the support that I had this time around.
Yeah,
I had more
connection.
people on my side.
Yeah, connection. And I know it sounds so cliche, but they say connection is everything, right? I just made a shirt, well, a hoodie. Well, going to be making a hoodie
Oh god.
tomorrow for
My bad.
for a friend who placed an order. She said she wanted her hoodie to say the opposite of addiction is connection.
Yeah. Shout out TRC.
What?
That's TRC. They pound that shit in your head.
I said, I was gonna say no. That was Amy that ordered that.
The Dinkster. Yeah.
That ordered that, but yeah. So that'll be dropping tomorrow on our store. But I don't think people understand how important it is. I never thought about connection and how important it was and how it would help me.
I never thought there was any healthy connections. You know what I mean? Like anyone of my wife, I was like, they either want something from me, they can gain something from me, or they're going to use me for something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what can I do to beat them to it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, life today, right? Hope
Wait,
and
wait, wait, wait.
restoration. What? Did you have a question?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones.
Oh, he's got a question.
Right, because this moment's fucking crucial in everybody's story.
Okay.
What was the moment like when you first felt like you had hope that things were going to be different?
Oh, it's a good one.
So, on Sundays at the Carlson Center, we had to do some kind of church, and it didn't matter what we did, as long as we were doing something. Me and another girl in the pod that I was in, we would sit down with our Bible. I had a book called The Jesus Calling, and it had like quotes and Bible verses in it. And there's this song called Inner Demon by Julia Brenner. And it, I had listened to the song before, but this song, like, it hit really hard right then and there. That I'm like, if I don't have hope, I don't have anything. I need to not be so down on myself and try and do this because I wanted, I still want a relationship with my daughter, even though she don't want one with me. I want a relationship with my sisters. I want to have a relationship with my stepkids. I want to be able to see and have memories with the people that I love and that are around every day. Because if not, I don't have anything, and that just means nothing to me.
Mm.
True that.
You said it. You said it. All right, life today, hope and restoration. What does your life look like today compared to back then?
I have a house that I have dreamed about for years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have a relationship with both of my stepkids now instead of one. I get to see pictures and talk to my sister and see her kids every single day on Facebook. And I just feel, I know it's a cliche, but I feel blessed today with the life that I have. Because not everybody gets to actually be clean and enjoy, the little things in life.
Yeah. Most people don't make it that far, right? God rest their souls. Most people don't make it for a little while and then they just don't make it, sad. So now
My aunt that I told that I was
your aunt.
Yeah, my aunt, she overdosed 4 years ago, and her birthday is on the 23rd of this month. And she was one of my biggest cheerleaders that I had.
Yeah. She's watching you now, right?
Yeah, just get on up
I
there.
have my cat. I'm sorry. It's fine.
She's wild, man.
Yeah. So you mentioned Caleb. Who's Caleb?
Caleb is my stepson that I have been in his life since before he was born.
Yeah, right? You said he gets to come over now every weekend. What does that mean to you?
It means the world to me because I know how much he loves his mom, and watching them together is I don't know how to explain it. It's just seeing them together. It makes my heart happy.
Aww. All right. How are you rebuilding relationships that were once broken?
My sisters and I don't have a relationship, but my one sister, she has been trying to get to know me today. to ask
Yeah.
questions, to make it a point to send me pictures of her kids.
So you're building relationships. It'd be hard. I hardly ever talk to most of my siblings, but maybe one day I'll get there to have a great relationship. Maybe, if not, I guess it wasn't written in the stars. You know what I mean? But that's awesome that you're getting to rebuild that with your sister. Hopefully, your other sister comes around.
Yeah,
Have you ever
I have I have three other sisters and one brother. So
have you ever heard the song "Nose to the Grindstone"?
yeah, it's on my playlist.
You know the line where he's like, "It takes twice as long to build bridges we've burned."
Yep.
I feel that in my soul, right? Like, just keep being consistent and growing,
Yeah, that's all you can
you
do.
know. And you're doing everything you can do, and what they choose to do from there, well, that's on them.
Yeah. What's something that you had to do to take accountability for in your journey? You had to take accountability for in your journey.
I mentioned giving my ex-husband meth for the very first time while I was in
Mm.
treatment. I had to do the steps, and I was almost done with the steps, and I got to the amends,
Yeah.
and
Make
I
it
was told I
do.
had to make amends to him for what I did.
Yeah. It's a hard pill to swallow. The hardest one for me to make amends to was myself,
Mm.
And I had a sponsor tell me, like if you can't make amends with yourself, you definitely can't make amends with anyone else. What she taught me.
And I think the biggest
Real
one
shit.
that's going to happen is my daughter when I'm actually able to have a full conversation with her. I think that one's going to be a hard one.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still waiting too, girl. Still waiting. I'll be rooting for you. You know what I mean? In that relationship department. I hope that truly works out for you. Um, what's something that you had to forgive yourself for?
The way I've treated people and the way that I treated my family, especially my mom.
Yeah, same. Same. Mm. If someone is watching right now and feels stuck where you once were, what would you tell them?
Don't give up, that it is possible, and that if they needed, someone to talk to, if they needed someone to, vent to, I'm here. And I may not be a sponsor, uh, but there is this one girl that reaches out to me occasionally, and I actually talked her into going back to rehab.
See, you got it in you, girl. Got it in you. What does survival was step one mean to you in your life? I don't know why it always puts that in there. That's the theme for my March United event, guys, if you guys are wondering. I don't know why that's always in this, but it is. It always keeps coming up. But what does survival with step one mean in real life for you? Like we I don't think people truly realize like that's the first step for us. Everybody's like, "Oh, step 1 is admitting you were powerless," and no, surviving was step 1 for us because that's all we knew how to do realistically. That's my personal opinion. Don't come for me, y'all, but that's my personal opinion. That's how it felt for me. Um, you know, uh, but what did it mean for you? Or what does it mean for you? I should say.
I think someone's here.
I don't think she heard me.
I don't think she heard you.
So who is Kerry Wallace today?
Stepmom. I don't know. A friend.
Yeah. A partner. Somebody who's still working on herself. Sober.
Yeah, I'm definitely
How-
working on myself every single day. It's definitely not easy.
Yeah. Somebody who took the courage and like a leap of faith to come on here and tell us a little bit about herself and her story.
Mm.
You're courageable today, right? Somebody
Thank you.
who had
This
the
is
courage.
something that I wanted to do this for a very long time, but I just didn't know how to like push myself.
And you did it. You know, you're somebody that just shared their story to help somebody else. You know, you were unsure about it. You didn't, I don't think anybody truly knows how to give their story at first because they're like, what parts do I tell? What parts do I leave out? But you just let us interview you on the things that you sent to me and you did an amazing job. And thank you for being vulnerable and trusting us with your story. We appreciate you.
Thank you for listening.
And we don't do this right here.
No.
All right, Kerry, we appreciate you. Is there anything that you want to say to anybody out there right now? Anything?
Don't give up. It is possible to get clean if you really want it.
And she's still willing to make amends with anybody who might see this in future. Anything you want to end it with?
No, just like I told you before, especially knowing your parts of your story now and the trust issues, and just thank you for being vulnerable for a long time. That was a struggle for me, so I definitely understand that. And I hope this experience was opening for you. You know what I mean? When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we grow. So don't diminish your light because you do shine. You know what I mean? And somebody needs to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. And don't be scared. Don't leave out parts, guys. Don't leave out parts.
What
Don't leave out parts. Because I question myself too. Like, should I say parts of things? You know what I mean? Like, because we talk about vulnerability all the time, but when you go into telling your story, you question everything that you want to say.
Shit, man, there's so much I want to say, I forget. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But we appreciate you. Thank you. And you guys heard it here. The Kerry Wallace interview story.
Yep.
On Pages from Rock Bottom. Don't forget to go like and share out her episode. I'm sure you will do it, Miss Kerry, right? And also, if anybody wants to watch it, go like and follow the page on YouTube because we upload each episode on YouTube to our podcast channel on YouTube. So Pages from Rock Bottom, that's what it's called there too. So go like and follow that as well.
Be there forever.
He said he'll be there forever. Forever. All right, Kerry, we appreciate you. And then this next Wednesday, I'm still trying to get used to this just Wednesday.
I know, right?
Thank you. And I gotta say this before like you go, I really appreciate everyone that comes on here and tells their story or allows us to interview them and allows yourself to be open and honest about some of the things that's happened to you in your life or the things that you've done. And, people don't really realize what we go through until they hear stories like this. So if you guys missed her story, come back and watch it and give her kudos and shout outs for the kitty hat or ears. I love them on her headphones. I love them. So I'm going to say,
I know, like, man, they changed colors and everything.
Love it. Yeah, gotta get me some of those. Girl, you gotta send me a link on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I need
Walmart.
some of those. Oh,
Walmart.
they're at Walmart. Shit. Walmart.
Here we come.
All right, Kerry. We appreciate you, and you have a great night. Everybody,
You too.
next Wednesday, you too. Next Wednesday is
Tasha Coon.
woo. We have Miss Tasha Coon. I hope we said. Hopefully, we're saying her name right, guys.
K-U-H-N?
Yeah,
It's
Coon.
Coon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And be on the lookout. We will be making a shirt in honor of Kerry's episode. And I am getting the store up. It is going. There's just a few things on there. Now I just got to move things over. So I will be posting links for everything. So therefore, you guys can go and shop once everything is added. And you can put it in a shopping cart. And you can select shipping, pickup, or local delivery.
We're blowing up.
Oh man, he's like, okay, that was great. But yeah, we'll be posting it, and I'll be posting a new link to the store on the
Hell yeah.
Yeah, get it, Ken?
Rewind. Try again.
Yeah. All right, I'll be posting the link to the new website for the store, guys. God. Yeah, Jay, it's up and it's right. I already sent it to you. I don't even know why you're like, yeah. Yeah, you said nice. This is the guy who made me build a whole website because I don't use Cash App. I need something you can go put it in a cart. I'm just messing with you, Jay. Just giving you a hard time, just throwing him low blows. And he's the reason my blood pressure has been about 200 to 280 over, 200. God, I'd probably be dead. Anyway, guys, join us next Wednesday. Check out the new store. There's only like 5 items on it right now, but if there's something that you guys remember from the other and you guys want to order it, please let me know. I'll send you a link to just
Or if you guys got a custom lasagna one done, just shoot it to us and we'll see what we can make happen, Captain.
Yeah. I still just got to get everything moved from my old store, my old website, to the new one.
Yeah.
Did you see that? No. You're not even looking. You're looking at me. I'm telling you to look at the screen.
You want me to look at
He
you
is
while
not.
you look at me?
He does not take directions very well.
I listen wonderfully.
Not. He's got selective hearing, y'all.
Oh.
And that's okay. So,
Just kidding. Thomas, blink twice.
oh, great. Man, what a good episode. I like talking. You like talking?
I'm getting there. Yeah.
Who is that, Jay? I don't even want to hear
Chop, chop.
You're a chop.
You're going to get a chop, all right?
Yeah, right in the fucking throat.
Shit.
I'm
Yeah.
done.
This is wonderful.
This is awful. I'm on here. Listen, I'm not karate chopping anybody. Allegedly. Well, karate chop you right in the fucking throat. But we're just going to leave it at that and we're going to end the show here. Check out the store, the new merch store. There's not really much on it, but there will be. I will be adding as I'm going. It's not going to take, I'm just going to keep adding over, guys. Adding over. And then go like and follow the page. And do not forget, I'm going to
like, follow, and share.
Yes,
Share
not
it
only
out.
that, we have March United coming up, guys, in September. Whoop, whoop. You guys ain't liking and following March United page, go March United of Pike County. Go like and follow it. President, founder, person right here, vice president.
Yep.
And then we have a vice.
Oh!
It should be vice or set in vice president, Michelle Gilmore. But anyway, this year for survival was what?
Step one.
Was step one.
Yeah.
And this year we have some amazing guest speakers. We have Christopher Dre from Chillicothe. I don't know if you guys know him. If you don't know who he is, go check him out. He will be there giving his testimony. And then we have Miss Stephanie Jones.
Yes,
Shout
ma'am.
out. She's going to come and give her, her lead to her story. And then we have Miss Annabelle, who is she's on the other side of it. She was not in active addiction or didn't go through addiction. She is a family member of a family member who was in addiction. So come join us September 5th at Canal Park in Waverly. Listen to the story. Everybody that attends gets a free t-shirt and we serve free meal. So come check us out. Whoop, whoop. September 5th.
Yep.
Check out Pages from Rock Bottom. Check out the new merch store and go to YouTube and check us out there too. And you know what? I'm out.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.